Okay, so I wanted to come and share with you a little bit more on the process of alignment, soul alignment and expansion, and particularly here with Isabella. Hi, say hi. Particularly what I wanted to say is, okay, here's the thing, it's a really important message. Please, please, please stop focusing on manifesting alone and instead pay deeper attention into coming into alignment. Coming into alignment is so much more impactful, so much deeper and so different to manifesting. When you're manifesting, you're essentially treating the universe as your ATM. And you're kind of dragging yourself by the hair through your techniques and what have you to get to that ATM, right? When you come into alignment, what you realize is that you are that bloody ATM. You know, you are the source of money, abundance, opportunities. I like to think about it less than an ATM and more as a sacred vessel. You are the sacred vessel. The universe is your sacred partner. It's not your ATM. And I think that shift in mentality is so important if you're going to bring that deeper impact and become a bigger vessel for receiving from the universe and understanding that it's linked to your own source energy. We're talking about a deep level activation of your leadership and your inner authority of your own energetic codes to truly receive abundantly. There's no dragging anyone by the hair. You become that frequency. You become the vessel of opportunities. You become one with that. Do you see the difference? Do you see how big that difference is? And how important to really kind of understand that you are a key ingredient here. You know, you are the main character. And I'm sharing this because I want people to understand, and it's something that I go very deep into my private work and my group container, Vibrational Alignment Academy, which I really want to welcome you to. What I teach on a very deep level is how to become that sacred container, that sacred vessel. But more importantly than that, and this is why so much of manifestation doesn't really kind of kick in for people, is that I've seen people really expanding the container, but unless the container feels safe, you feel safe in your vessel to receive, right? And that, you know, that it will sustain. Whatever you're manifesting will stay with you, and it will keep on unfolding abundantly, and it will keep on expanding. Unless the safety is there, both on a nervous system level, but particularly around on the emotional, energetic, visceral level, you're going to keep on blocking yourself from all that you can attract. And, you know, it's not my job to tell you what to manifest and how big that is. And actually, I even suggest to people, don't even just focus on what you think is possible and what you would like. Let it go so wild out of your imagination to attract and manifest way beyond what you think is possible. So it's not my job to help you with that, but it's definitely where I see my role is to really help activate the frequency where that possibility feels so viscerally real to you that it becomes inevitable. And not only that, but also really create that deep safety around that process, so that what you do attract, what you become in alignment with, is so big and so monumental that you can't, you know, but it feels right. You're at the stage where it just doesn't feel far-fetched. It feels right. It feels in alignment. So, and here's the other message that comes with this. I've seen this. I've worked with some of the people I work with, some of the people I've observed outside of in sharing in social media. What I've noticed is that sometimes we get to do such deep work, and they will do such deep work, and then we kind of sabotage it on the last minute. And we do that because, and I've done this myself, And I still do at times, you know. And I tell you why we do that. We do this because we check the life around us, and we might feel that people around us will have a particular reaction, right? So we fear people's views and opinions and judgments, and that stops us from really expanding. So understand that the aspect of inner authority and deep inner leadership and sovereignty. I talk about sovereignty a lot, and I talk about it for a specific reason. When you become a sovereign, what essentially we do is we connect and marry ourselves to our inner leadership. It doesn't mean we're cutting off from people. It means that the inner leader has been activated so much so that no matter the people around you, how much you love them, how much they love you and all that, you will never be kept down by what other people feel about you, think of your success or your growth. You are essentially let people deal with their own limitations, their own blocks, their own kind of fears around it without receiving the projection. I was having this conversation and exchange with a client yesterday where she was talking about that, and it became very clear through where it was leading that there was fear in how people will respond by her stepping so powerfully in her work and her purpose and her destiny, you know, and taking the steps towards that. We get so bogged down by the external sort of judgment, and you know, if you keep on looking outside of yourself for validation, it's going to be very hard for you to grow, which is why, if not very hard, you know, if you're determined, of course you will do it, but it will just take a little bit more time, you know, and that's fine. But just know that the aspect of the inner leadership when it comes to alignment is huge. The aspect of deep sacred space around everything you're creating, you're growing, is absolutely massive. Understand that manifesting alone without alignment, it's just like it's technique, right? It's not what it is about. We're talking about mindset and deep level of shift in your identity and your lifestyle. And you know, also the level of safety you create around everything you're creating and manifesting is so important, right? And protection around it, protecting yourself from people who will want to bring you down, protecting yourself from your own self, your fears, your limiting beliefs. And we're working with our raw material, not isolating it outside of ourselves. We're working with it in a way that only sacred, deep level of sacred space, which I'm here to help you with, deep level of sacred space can really facilitate that so powerfully for us. And so I wanted to leave this here with you. I wanted to share with you that my Vibrational Alignment Academy, it's a year-long space where we go into, I have very carefully curated, I've been refining my work for the last 3 years since launching this, and it's deeply curated, intentionally curated with the intention of sacred space, deep sacred space, and everything, all the 12 universal laws are weaved into really powerfully into every single thing we do in the academy, so that you can become that vessel. I have a client who literally is just almost fully booking her course as she's finishing, having gone through the most unbelievable life events in her life before she's just joined. And she's been stepping into a very powerful space in her life to create shifts. And that's happened with so many people, and it's happening in my own life too. So what I will say is that if you feel that you will benefit from this sacred space, if you're really ready and willing to step into a deeper level of expansion in your own life, through your projects, through your relationships in any way, and you have a passion to understand how to become that sacred vessel, get in touch. We'll hop on a call and we can talk about it. Or if you feel that you want to do this work on a one-to-one, that's also available. And I try to keep my packages affordable. I will always have higher end packages as well, but know that anybody can access this work that feels that wants to prioritize that growth and expansion. And just to know that you get so much more by focusing on alignment, deep level of alignment. Everything starts to you become such a magnetic attractor for everything that you want and desire, and so much more. And it really is important we stop playing small with the limitations we create, and that strategy alone won't get you there. It really is your energy. That's your number one currency and the asset you should be focusing on. So I'm going to leave this there, the message. Hope this speaks to somebody. If it speaks to you, let me know in what way and how, and reach out to me if you feel that you would like to explore this work on a deeper level with me. I'd love to assist you, and I'd love to co-create with you as your sacred partner on this journey to your growth. Lots of love.